Match analysis of the eliminator of the IPL 2025 MI versus GT. The team that loses here is knocked out of the tournament, and the winner goes on to the qualifier 2 to play the Punjab Kings. The match will be happening in Mullanpur like qualifier 1, but I think the pitch will be a little bit different for this game. Before we get into the analysis, I think there'll be a few changes to the teams. Mumbai are losing Ryan Rickelton, Ethan Bosch, and Will Jacks. They won't be part of the rest of the season. And in place of them, Johnny Bairstow, Charit Asalanka, and Richard Gleeson are in. I feel like out of these players, I think Johnny Bairstow is the only shoe-in. Mitchell Santner will replace Will Jacks and play more as a bowling all-rounder, which will push players like Hardik Pandya and Namandir up the order. Ashwini Kumar will probably replace Ethan Bosch, and they might look to bring in an extra batsman, but I don't think it's something that they really need to do because they have pretty good depth of batting. If they have Santner at 8 and Deepak Char at 9, they shouldn't really worry about batting depth. GT on the other hand have a much bigger blow to their team. Joss Butler is unavailable for the remainder of the season. In place of him, Kusal Mendes is coming. I think Kusal Mendes will directly fit into the team. They might go for Glenn Phillips, but I think Kusal Mendes is a better choice in my opinion. So the openers will remain the same, and Kusal Mendes will probably play at 3. Otherwise, the team should be the same. Let's move on to let's move on to analyzing the conditions. Mullanpur is a relatively low-scoring pitch. The average first inning score is 178. The average winning score is 180. The average second inning score is 168. So there is some discernible advantage to batting first. It's not huge. We've seen teams bowl first, bowl better, and then win the game like we saw RCB do the previous day. So you can still win the game bowling first. Let's move on to the analysis of the phases. So if you're new here, what we do is we break the game down. We break the 20 overs down into 4 phases, and we try and see which team is better equipped at coming out on top in these phases. The first phase is the power play, overs 1 to 6. Here, ideally, it would be 52 for 1 or 48 for no loss in the case of GT. I think both the teams are going to take a slightly different approach. GT are well equipped for this phase. There is a lot of help for the seam bowlers. There is also a lot of help for swing bowlers. So pace bowlers will have a lot of advantage here. Batsmen, the main note to them is to try and play grounded shots. Try not to really go hard at the ball, because doing so you can easily catch the edge. It's best to have a slip fielder, in my opinion, in Mullanpur, because even when the bounce is slightly higher, it's still better to have a slip fielder instead of a third man. Batsmen should try and place it through the gaps, not try to go hard at the ball, play with a little bit more of soft hands. Because when bowlers are getting the swing and seam that they do, their main objective will try and be to put a little bit more pace to the ball. There won't be as many pace variations or line and length variations. So batsmen have the advantage of playing with soft hands and trying to get it into the gap to hit fours, rather than going across the line to hit sixes. For the bowlers, I think they should stick to their line. I think even if they're getting hit for a couple of boundaries, they should try and stick to their line. Maybe throw in the occasional bouncer or two, or short ball, but I don't really see the need to start bowling defensive lines in Punjab. Mostly because it is a low scoring pitch. There is a lot of help and backing your good deliveries, especially bowlers like Trent Bolt, Mohammad Siraj, Deepak Char, who are established bowlers who've been bowling in this phase for years and picking up wickets, should really back their stock delivery and try and pick up wickets. We saw that happen in the game against Punjab and RCB, where Prabhsimran Singh had hit Bhuvaneshwar Kumar for a couple of fours. Then he steps out, edges one, and it goes to the keeper. So he really backed his delivery. He bowled the shorter one, yes, but that was also the stock ball that was planned for Prabhsimran Singh. So let's talk about how the teams will approach the power play with the bat. I think GT is very well equipped in terms of skill and players to tackle the power play. They won't be going for a 52 for 1. They'll try and get to a 48 for no loss or a 45 for no loss also. They're very much capable of that because the team is so heavily reliant on these two openers. They're not going to try any risky shots. So Mumbai have a little bit of leeway to bowl a bit more of aggressive lines in the power play. Mumbai, on the other hand, Rohit Sharma will be the one who tries to build the momentum and try and get them ahead in the game, playing some aggressive shots, trying to get a couple of fours and sixes in so that there's a little bit more time for the next batsman to settle because the first 10 overs, you really have to set yourself up in terms of maybe a good partnership. About 75 to 80 runs on the board is ideally what you want. So a quick start should give the other batsman a little bit of time to get settled down. I think that's what Rohit Sharma will try to do. And Johnny Baster will be the player who really comes in and uh, who really tries to anchor the innings towards the next phase, at least until the 10th over. A player of his experience, of his caliber, is very much capable of doing that. And he's been in pretty good form, so I probably back him to play that role. I don't think Johnny Baster is going to come in and immediately start hitting like Rohit Sharma does, because the effect of losing two early wickets, we saw what happens in the game in Punjab versus RCB, where Punjab were easily bowled out for 100 runs. It's also happened before where Punjab played KKR and then both teams were bowled out for close to 100 runs. So overall in the power play, I would give the edge to Mumbai. The second phase is over 7 to 10, which is over 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ideally, here it would be 30 for 1. This is where the spinners start to come into use. It's a very high wicket taking phase. You have a lot of potential to pick up wickets in this phase, mostly because you're getting grip off the surface and the ball is new enough for the pace bowlers to still extract a bit of swing and extra bounce. So batsmen have to be very careful in this phase. That's why we said 30 for 1. It might seem a little bit low, but if you're able to get 30 for 1 or even 32 for 1, you're very much in the clear for getting a score of 180 to 185. Here, either both for GT, here both the openers should be playing ideally, but at least one opener should be batting through this phase. They cannot afford to lose both their openers before the 10th over. If that happens, then GT are in a lot of trouble because throughout the season, the openers and Joss Butler have played the role of an anchor. It's been very rare that we've seen all three of them get out before the 14th or 15th over. Unfortunately for Gill and Sai Sudarshan, the entirety of the responsibility have fallen on their shoulders. So at least one of them should look to carry the game into the 14th over. So if GTF set themselves up well in the first 6 overs, don't be surprised if one of the openers takes the bowlers on, or they hold out until the 10th over before one of them starts to take on the Mumbai bowlers. Mumbai, on the other hand, they have this is usually the phase where Surya Kumar Yadav and Tilak Verma are batting. Maybe if Johnny Baster was out, then this is where Surya Kumar Yadav and Tilak Verma begin to set up their partnership. This is a very dangerous phase. It's the best phase to really get someone like Surya Kumar Yadav out because it's a slow phase. You want to get him before he starts playing, before he gets settled. Um, the bowlers like GTF bowlers like Rashid Khan and Sai Kishore to do that. Rashid Khan not in the greatest of form the last couple of years, bouncing back from an injury, which has really seen him lose a little bit of the X factor that he had previously. Sai Kishore has been ever consistent, but misused by GT. They haven't used him as well as they should be. For MI, they'll have Mitchell Santner and Karan Sharma. Compared to GT, this looks slightly worse. And if both the opening batsmen are playing in this phase, advantage GT. GT will also look to bowl an over of Prasidh Krishna, who has done incredibly well in this phase. But ideally, I'd want them to bowl an over of Prasidh Krishna in the power play too. So overall, I think this phase GT are slightly better equipped to get on top. So the edge goes to GT. So phase 3 is the momentum building phase, overs 11 to 14. Here you want to be 38 for 1. Because it's a relatively low scoring pitch, the first 10 overs, there's so much help to the bowlers. You only have a 10-over slot to really get some runs. So what we've talked about so far, at the end of 10 overs, you're probably looking at a score of 82 for 1. So how do you get 98 runs in the last 10 overs? It is slightly easier to get runs here because the ball softens a little bit, so you're not getting that extra bounce. the ball's roughened up a little bit, so the swing is not there. So it's really up to the spinners, especially the attacking spinners, to pick up wickets in this phase, and the defensive spinners to bowl tight lines. GT have a very good spin attack compared to Mumbai, but the fact that Mumbai have bowlers like Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, and Ashwini Kumar who will have at least three overs each, at the least. I don't think Bumrah is going to come in and bowl two in the power play, and I don't think Hardik or Ashwini Kumar really have a need to bowl two in the power play. So having bowlers like that who can bowl very good defensive lines will give a huge advantage to Mumbai with the ball. But on the other hand, GT, if the opening batsman, one of Sai Sudarshan or Shubman Gill bat through this phase, or even for that matter, Kusal Mendes bats through this phase, you might be thinking, okay, Kusal Mendes can do what Joss Butler did, right? But they're very different players. Kusal Mendes is someone who is a very aggressive batter. Uh, you'd want him to play 10 overs, but the way in which he plays, it's not going to be every game that he plays 10 overs. That's why I'm saying that one of Sai Sudarshan or Shubman Gill should ideally bat in this phase. If one of them are there on one side and they can hold down the fort, players like Rahul Tewatia and Shah Rukh Khan, Shafin Rutherford and Shah Rukh Khan can very much give GT the momentum that they need. For Mumbai, they will have players like Naman Dir, Surya Kumar Yadav, and Tilak Verma. Incredible quality there from Mumbai. It just depends on how GT use Sai Kishore and Prasidh Krishna through this phase, and also Gerald Kedzia will probably get a couple of overs bowling here. So overall, I would still give a slight edge to GT in this phase, but it's all dependent on whether one of the opening batsmen are playing in this phase and how many wickets MI have lost in the first 10 overs. The last 6 overs, which is the death overs, is overs 15 to 20. Here, ideally, you would want to be 60 for 2. It does seem less compared to other grounds, but because the pitch slows down a little when the ball gets old, you're not going to be able to get heaps of runs. If we look at GT, they'd probably want to have more runs in the bank through the first 14 overs than having to score a lot of runs in the last 6, because for a long period of time, this is the phase that they've struggled to score runs in. They've depended a lot on players like Rahul Tewatia and Joss Butler to get runs here. The middle order hasn't really been firing, but Shah Rukh Khan is off the back of a pretty good performance. Shafin Rutherford is very much capable of causing a lot of destruction. And if a player like Kusal Mendes gets here, he's going to be extremely destructive. Mumbai, on the other hand, they have Hardik Pandya, Naman Dir. Mitchell Santner coming in might be a cause for concern for them, but if Tilak Verma or Surya Kumar Yadav, one of them can bat into this phase, Mumbai is going to have a very easy time of scoring above 60 runs. Especially given the fact that Gujarat don't really have the greatest death bowling, in my opinion. Prasidh Krishna has done very well. Mohammad Siraj is very much capable of bowling well in the death, especially in a pitch where there's not a lot for batsmen. They're capable uh, of of bowling much better. And Gerald Kedzia has been expensive. So overall, the death bowling looks a little bit weak when you compare it to the experience that Mumbai have with Hardik Pandya and Surya Kumar Yadav. Namandir is relatively inexperienced, but still I give an edge to Mumbai. Mumbai with the ball, there's Bumrah. I mean, does anything really need to be said? Having 2 overs of Bumrah is essentially a cheat code in this game at this point. And given that GT haven't really done well, as said before, it's a huge concern for GT. Added to that, Ashwini Kumar is someone who can come in and nail the Yorkers. Hardik Pandya has immense experience, and someone like Trent Bolt will always have 1 over in the bank to come in and swing the ball all around. So overall, I think again MI have a huge advantage when it comes to the death. All said and done, I think MI have an advantage in this game of 53-47. I think MI will come out on top in this game. Unfortunately for GT, a team that was ever consistent, a team that looked to be certain in the top two, the season will be cut short with the eliminator, and MI will move on to the qualifier too. My fantasy picks today will be Rohit Sharma, Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, and Trent Bolt from Mumbai. Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan, Shah Rukh Khan, Sai Kishore, and Prasidh Krishna from Gujarat Titans. The 11th pick, I feel, probably should be Johnny Bairstow. He's coming off a very good season for Yorkshire. He's been consistently one of their best batters, and he saved them from uh, desperate situations. Yorkshire have consistently found their middle order completely opened up, and then Johnny Bairstow strings along a partnership with Adam Litt to get them to a pretty decent score. It's probably something that's happened again and again in county. Coming in with pretty good form, so I would probably back him to get some runs today. That was the analysis. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.